Hello and welcome to another Zwift race. This is my Zwift number 12 race, the fresh Outer 24 triple twist. Don't think I've ever done this route before. Looking forward to this ride. I quickly jumped on the last moment. Was thinking about doing a ride, the endurance series that started at 8:45. I did a video on it the other week where Ryan Condon and Benji have been riding, but 8:45 just doesn't agree with me on a Sunday morning. I'm sorry. So I hopped on at 11 o'clock where I felt as though I was a little bit fresher. So here we go. It's a race with, I think there were 78. I'm looking to see on the screen now how many other riders. It's not going to tell me until I go over the start-finish line. There you go, 78 riders, 24.5 kilometres to go, and I think it was around 200 metres of incline, so not a bad little route for me. But I wasn't really aware of the route beforehand, but you can see on the right hand side the terrain map in the top right hand corner. So two large inclines to navigate over, and from the outset they look as though they would be hard going for me, and so really it was just see how we get on. I was in a category with my race score. My race score's currently sneaked up to 267, so I've seen a nice little increase on that. Been doing a few more rides recently, so like I said, race category of 267, but I'm in a category race today that rather than having a boundary of 300, it was a boundary of 350, so lots of stronger riders, hence the reason why after the start I'm working really hard. You can see my average watts there, 260, 262. I'm currently pushing 400 watts to try and stay with the group. That's a strong start from me, and that's a powerful start from me, which I'm aware that I wouldn't be able to maintain. I think the best ever average wattage that I've produced is 247, which I did the other week on one of the crit races, a 10-lap crit race. So yeah, I'm really pushing hard here. You can see that the group is stretched out. I thought we were quite close together, but when we did that U-turn at the top of the hill, I could actually see how far the group was spread out, so I was very much aware that it was going to be a hard push. And you can see from the screen in front that the group start to split, and I'm still really struggling, and I know that I can't maintain this, and I'm 39th out of 78 people, so it was going to be hard work. So you can see right as we go around the corner there that the group split. There's one rider off the front, and there's around about 30-35 people in a group, and it's split, so it's going to be hard here now. Obviously the drafting on all these races is key to any success, but you can see just about to see how the group potentially could join back up together. You can see in the top right hand corner that I'm at the back of this group, so I'm currently 46th, and I can see around about half a dozen riders behind me in the top right hand corner, but I've actually managed to get back on the back of the group, which is a real positive. So I'm hoping, which sometimes happens in these races, that the pace will ease off once we've done a few K. The pace normally settles down a little bit, and you can sit in the group and have a draft. So that's what I'm hoping we can do now, because you can still see that my average wattage 260. I've average, that's far too high for anything that I can maintain. I'm only 2.6k in. So what I'm hoping for now is that the race, this front group will just settle down a little bit now. So a further 2 kilometres down the road, and you can see that my average watts is starting to drop, which is pleasing. I am in a group of around 50 riders. I'm quite comfortable now. My heart rate's at a really good rate of 140, and I'm hoping that we'll continue to work at this intensity for a good while, because we've still got 20k to go. It's only a short race, but probably my most efficient distance of racing. So yeah, we're starting to look to meet the first, here we go, first incline with some serious percentage inclines. So this is where I'll have to start working a lot harder, but hopefully I can maintain this front group. So these rows are times where I'm going to struggle. There's quite a few inclines, as you can see from the map in the centre of the screen at the top. I've dropped down a few gears to try and hopefully encase my cadence. Because I was quite late getting into the race, I didn't connect my cadence meters, so I can't actually tell you what sort of cadence I'm doing, and I can't actually show you the change. But I've powered up there and gone up over 400 watts, and you can see I've got into a far better position in the race. It says I'm it says I'm first, but I'm obviously clearly not, with a couple of other riders in front. Nice flat bit here to try and recover. I've got quite a high heart rate. I am really struggling if my heart rate's at 170. I prefer to ride around the 150 mark. At this point you can see that I've obviously clearly been struggling. I've had a lot of riders just go past me. I've dropped from third at the last set of inclines all the way back to 20th at the moment. I'm still in the front pack, which is pleasing, but I've got to keep with this group getting up this last hill. So if I can keep with them in up this last hill, you can see there's a downhill to come, so I put a lot of power in, over 550 watts there, and get up to second place. So I've got myself in a good position. Hopefully then I can get in the draft of the riders around me. So I've come over the top in quite a reasonably good position, but I've expended a load of energy, and you can see everyone's just going past me here. I'm trying to recover. Heart rate's quite close to maximum, currently at 166, and there's a group, I'm 17th, so a group of around 15 in front who are starting to break away, and this is at the point where I feel as though, I'm going to lose them. A few start to come past me and start to try and grab hold of the rest of the group, but I'm not making any gains on that group further ahead. So I'm looking where I can settle in with a group that I can ride at a similar pace to myself. So that group's gone now. I've really struggled to maintain any power, knowing full well that I wasn't going to catch hold of the group. But yeah, about 20 people gone off in front, 4-second lead. I'm hanging on to this bloke Stanwick's back wheel so that I can hopefully get a draft off him, and hopefully also, as you can see, a few others come past. This is my group now, so hopefully we can look to work hard together. So I'll just sit in with these now. But to be fair, on this downhill something strange happens where I'm able to power past everybody. I didn't particularly put any great watts in, still under 200 you'll see there, but suddenly the lead starts dropping to that lead group and it's down to 3 seconds. I'm thinking, gosh, am I going to catch him again? Now down to 2. So I start powering up a bit here now and think, I can get hold of this front group. I wasn't expected to. I thought they'd gone. They had a 4-second lead on my group and they were gone. But you can see that I'm pulling it back, and you could visibly see that the gap was closing in front, which spurred me on to put that extra bit of power in. So back with that lead group again, which was a massive surprise. So here we are going through a lot of the undulations in the course. Very conscious at this point that I need to be putting lots of power down on the downhills to drive me up and over any slight inclines that we're going to encounter. The group of around 30 or 40 riders is all still together at the front, and it's looking okay now after really struggling before. So you can see a few riders have gone off the front here. We're a couple of K further down the route. We've only got 9.2K to go, but you can see that everybody else is trying to pull them back. We're just about to start the Zwift KOM, which may cause, is almost definitely going to cause the pack to split and open up. It's not going to be my strongest part of the ride. You can see on the contour map on the right hand side that we've got a huge amount of inclines to come. So changing gear, going to try and spin the pedals a lot more rather than powering up, pushing hard and grinding. But only time will tell whether I'm able to keep up with this pace. So at this point I was feeling quite confident. I was spinning the pedals hard here, and but I was up right at the front and feeling really good. So didn't know how it was going to progress, but then suddenly you can see maybe I've changed a gear or two there and my wattage has gone, maybe dropped, I didn't see in the screen, but everybody's going past me now and I'm really struggling. My legs feel like lead. I've got no power in them at all. I'm not a climber, as you may have heard me say on numerous occasions. This is out of my comfort zone, climbing at 8-10%. But let's see how it all goes going over the top, and whether we can pull it back to the front group again. So 26th position, you can see that for a change they are well into the distance now. It says a gap of 12-14 seconds to the front group. I'm not going to catch that up. It's just been too much of an effort for me to try and maintain. So I've basically settled in now. My watts have dropped back down again, and I'm just going to have to see how it goes to the finish line now. So re-evaluating the race now, thinking about my position. I'm a very competitive person, as people will well know, and I'm thinking, right, okay, I'm 28th now. There's a group of around 25 in front. Let's see if I can get 25th place. And that was now my new goal. And that's what I like about Zwift, is no matter where you are within a race, there's always a race within it. So I'm looking at that now. But even having those riders that I thought I was going to be able to latch onto, they've just gone as well. So it's going to be a struggle to the end, and it's just going to be maintaining some sort of pace. That's always my issue, that I always seem to put a huge amount of effort into the early stage of the race, and then I'm just hanging on, and then my power is just decreasing all the way to the finish line, which I don't think should be the case. I'm not an expert, but I would like to think that you should have something in reserve so that you can put more into the final sections of the race. So I'm completely isolated now. I've got a group of 4 or 5 who are 4 seconds ahead. Some are a little bit less. People behind me are 40 seconds behind me. So I'm thinking that I was going to be riding to the end of the race on my own, but I managed to catch hold of one back wheel in front of me, which in turn allowed me to work hard to try and catch up with the other few in front. You can see there's 4 riders in front of me, and despite the fact that me thinking that I just caught hold of one back wheel, he's then gone again, so I have to put an extra spurt in. You can see my watts are back up over 300 so that I can try and catch this group. This is my only chance of getting some draft towards the end of the race, still with 7k to go. Here it looks like I've sorted it all out and I'm back with them. Yes, there's somebody out the front of the 5 of us, but at least I can get in the draft of the other few riders around me. So just 3.5 kilometres to go now. We're still just further down the route. I've maintained this small little group and working together with this group of 4. Probably the strongest one is the British rider out in front, Costello. They seem to have plenty of strength, and they are normally at the front of the group, with the other 4 of us taking it in turns to swap positions, but never ever anybody else really getting on the front. And that's how it moved forward towards the end. The group that were leading are now gone by 26 seconds. So, yeah, just working towards the end now, really, and just hoping that we can get this group. I'm in 28th position, still thinking about 25th, if I can potentially pass all these or finish in front of all these riders that you can currently see me with. So we're back inside the volcano. We've got 2k to go. Costello's still out in front of the group, and you'll see at this point what starts to happen is that Costello puts a burst in up over the top, on the right hand side you can see that her watts there 4.6 I think that is, and she's gone. She's opened up a couple of second lead on us already, and she's obviously clearly making an early dart for the finish. She's got 2 seconds on us now. We're pushing hard. 220 watts for this point in the race is reasonably good for me, but you know, she's obviously got a plan that she's going to push at this point and push early. So we're down to 4 now, and I'm currently in 27th position. I think what happened was that at some point somebody else dropped out in front, which is always can be the case. So here you can see we go past somebody who's been just not working too hard towards the end, and putting in some nice wattage towards the finish line. Half a kilometre to go. I'm hoping that I will finish ahead of the ones who were just behind me because of my constant slight power increase, but any second now you'll see a few of them come past. All in all, I was really pleased with the effort I put in. I am getting back to close to my strongest after a couple of months of less riding, but I'm starting to try and ride. It is massively down to my own mental health that I'm choosing to get on Zwift at the moment. I've struggled recently. Work has been absolutely horrendous, and I sometimes just have to force myself to get on the bike and ride the bike, because I know that I will benefit massively from coming on here and not thinking about work all the time. I just feel that my whole life is currently engrossed with thinking about work and things that are going on with work. So to pick myself up off a settee, to get on the bike, do a Zwift ride, and just to be concentrating and focusing on having a bit of fun is just so important for my own mental health at the moment. So that's why I'll continue to make these videos. That's why I'll continue to ride on Zwift. You know, I'm here again editing a Zwift video, and it's mainly because it's something else to think about and something else to enjoy rather than the stresses of my work scenario. So yeah, I know there's not many people watching me. I know my voice is dull. I know I can sometimes stumble over my words, but I'm just doing it just to make myself feel a little bit better about things and to take my mind off the pressures of work, which I know for a fact is not great for lots of other people as well. So take care everybody, look after yourselves, cheers.